Hi everybody, welcome to Bartra's Immigration Insights. In the previous episodes, we have talked about the fundamentals of Irish tax, but many of our clients are interested in knowing more about the differences between the Irish and UK tax and who will be paying more. Clients would like to know if both countries have similar tax reliefs like double taxation treaty or same tax treatment on remittance basis, and if they have the same concept about domicile. Today we have Helen Lau. She is a member of the Association of Chartered Certified Accountants in the UK, the Hong Kong Institute of Certified Public Accountants, and Hong Kong Certified Tax Advisors. Helen is with us today to compare the tax regime between the two jurisdictions of Ireland and the UK.
Thank you for having me, Tanya.
So, Helen, what taxes are we going to talk about today?
For families moving to the UK or Ireland, there are some major tax considerations, like income tax, universal social charge in Ireland, social security rate, and the health and social care levy in UK, pay-related social insurance in Ireland, national insurance contributions in UK, capital gains tax, capital acquisitions tax, value-added tax, stamp duty, and corporations tax. I think we can start by talking about the concept of residence and domicile in these two countries.
Okay, about the tax resident, the concept is fairly straightforward. Broadly speaking, for an individual spending 183 or more days in the UK or Ireland in a tax year, or spending 280 days or more in total across 2 consecutive tax years, the individual is considered as a tax resident. Determining domicile can be complex. I know domicile usually relates to where you were born. This is known as your domicile of origin. However, you may establish a domicile of choice if you move to a country where you have decided to settle permanently. There is also the concept of deemed domicile. For example, individuals who have been UK residents for at least 15 out of the previous 20 tax years are deemed domiciled. But there are no deemed domicile rules in Ireland. Helen, can you tell us a bit more about this?
The UK has historically been an attractive location for non-UK high net worth individuals. This in large part is due to the availability of non-domicile status. It means the UK allows a non-domicile person to only be taxed on their UK source income and gains, and their worldwide income and gains only to the extent that they remit into the UK. However, it has been changed. In some instances, previously non-domicile individuals are now deemed domiciled. As you say, they can be considered deemed domiciled if they have resided for at least 15 of the last 20 years, or individuals with a domicile of origin. The number of UK non-domicile individuals dipped below 100,000 for the first time in 2018 and only 75,700 in 2020. It has been estimated that the number of non-domicile individuals planning on leaving the UK could be further increased. In contrast, Ireland's number of non-domicile individuals has increased from 3,393 in 2013 to 7,262 in 2016. This has been driven in part by executive employed and multinational companies moving in, and also by the take-up of the Irish Immigrant Investor Program, or called IIP.
I know Ireland has a similar non-domicile setup to the UK, but with a couple of key differences. Individuals who become tax residents in Ireland and they are non-domiciled will only be taxed on their Irish source income and gains and their worldwide income and gains only to the extent that are brought into Ireland under Ireland's non-domicile regime. There are no deemed domicile rules in Ireland. Non-domicile status can continue indefinitely. Ireland has an extensive double taxation treaty network that a non-domiciled but tax resident individual can rely on. Okay, let's move on to the taxes. Shall we talk about the income tax comparisons between the two countries, since this is the most frequently asked question?
Income tax rates are broadly similar. There are currently two rates of tax in Ireland, 20% below around €40,000, then 40% for anything above. In the UK, it has three tax bands. It's 20% below £50,000, then 40%, with an additional 45% for taxable income over £150,000. Individuals will also have to pay attention to some other taxes on earnings for employee, the self-employed, and employers. In the UK, there are national insurance contributions, social security rates, and the health and social care levy. So it's roughly about 18.5% tax on earnings. In Ireland, there are universal social charge and pay-related social insurance, PRSI, charged on earnings for about 4 to 12%. Employee pay-related social insurance is an employee's contributions to the social insurance fund in Ireland, which is at a rate of 4%. However, PRSI is generally possible for individuals coming to work in Ireland to remain on their home country social insurance for a period of up to 5 years, hence to be exempt from this contribution.
Besides income tax, there are still quite a few other taxes that family would need to be aware. You mentioned capital gains tax, capital acquisitions tax, stamp duty, and corporate tax or value-added tax for business owners. I'm afraid we do not have enough time today to talk through each one, and they can be complex. Shall we talk about the major tax benefits or advantages of the tax regime over each other?
Sure, Tanya. On a remittance basis, Ireland is more favorable. Foreign nationals who become Irish tax residents but are not Irish domicile will be taxed on the remittance basis. This means that they are taxed in Ireland on Irish employment income, Irish source income, and non-Irish source income only to the extent they remit to Ireland. This is more favorable to Ireland than to the UK, and it's very attractive in bringing people to Ireland. On the double tax agreement, both Ireland and UK are under the comprehensive double taxation agreement with Hong Kong, and rates are similar. The maximum rate of withholding under the Hong Kong-Ireland double treaty on dividends is reduced to 0%, 10% for interest, or 0% in certain circumstances, 3% for royalties. While under Hong Kong-UK double treaty, the withholding tax on dividends is reduced to 0% in some cases, or 15% in others. The non-treaty rate is 20%, 0% for interest, 3% for royalties. There is also a special assignee relief program, SARP, which is a tax incentive used to attract talent, including returning Irish nationals from outside Ireland to work in Ireland. The relief operates by allowing a 30% deduction from any employment income in excess of €75,000.
That's very helpful. To families who are thinking to move to the UK or Ireland, it is important to understand their obligations for taxes at different stages for their immigration status. Have a clear list of the assets or investment portfolio and disclose them to tax advisors to assess the timing and ways to bring them into the country, so the families can avoid being liable to additional taxes. One of the benefits of IIP is it allows families to have less pressure on tax planning due to its residing flexibility. Families can have plenty of time to sort out their taxes before becoming tax residents. Thank you so much, Helen, for sharing all the information with us.